Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new episode. This is a new episode. I've done top 10s, I've done individual reviews, but this is the first time I'm doing an EDP, EDT comparison with the actual bottles here with me. So I'm super excited to do this episode. This is a first for the TCG. We are groundbreaking here at this channel, so I really do appreciate doing this one. It's a lot of fun. So happy holidays to you, and I want to say first and foremost, of course, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you have had a great year. It's been a tough one, but nonetheless, may your holiday season be the best ever. And I really want to wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. So, what I'm going to be doing in this episode is talking about the EDP and the EDT of Jaipur. So, if you have not watched the last couple weeks, shame on you. No, I'm kidding. If you have not watched the last 2 weeks, last week I reviewed the EDT, and it was incredibly difficult not to compare then. And 2 weeks ago, I reviewed the EDP. So, in the next couple minutes, I will put over here both of those reviews. I'll just wait a little bit, and then I'll put in maybe 30 seconds or so, and then the next one will appear. If you would like a detailed review of just one of these, they're there. You can find them. Please watch them. I will say the EDP episode, I really talk a lot about the nomenclature. So if you're the kind of person who likes to know more about where the name comes from and things like that, because I love that, then you'd want to check out especially the EDP episode, which came out first, because this one actually came out first. So let's talk a lot about the similarities first, because both of these have a lot of similarities. So let's talk about that. As I said, this is my first time doing a comparison video, and so this is really fun for me. You can see here the boxes are practically the same. I really don't have too much to say about the boxes. Front and back are just about the same, if not the same, actually. You can see here. They both have the batch codes listed on the bottom and not on the actual bottles themselves. One thing, so that's one thing that's they both have in common. They are both, of course, by Boucheron. You knew that. They're both called Jaipur, and they're both named after the city in India, in Rajasthan. And again, you can say Jaipur with a French pronunciation because of the house, or you can say Jaipur because of Hindi. So I just love everything about these fragrances. They have been on my wanting to buy list for a very, very long time, and I finally got them thanks to Brian. And so this is just so nice, and I really enjoy both of them. So they are both wildly successful. What I mean to say is popular. Both of them are very highly rated on Fragrantica. The EDP is rated as 4.47, which is practically unheard of, and the EDT is 4.28, which is also very, very high. Both of these fragrances could be had for around $25 to $35 for a 3.4 ounce, 100 milliliter. That is insane. That is crazy. They are cheapies, but they smell nothing like a cheapie. Nothing. I don't even know if I'm comfortable saying that they're cheapies, because they're a refined fragrance that just so happens to be inexpensive at a discounter. In fact, if you're a snob and you think it's not a cheapie, it smells refined, then go to Macy's or Neiman Marcus and pay $125. Knock yourself out, because I will have these all day for around the $25 mark. Both of them do not, well, actually, let me talk about the similarities. Both of them have the signature blue cap. They are both incredibly ergonomic. I love spraying this bottle. They fit perfectly in my hand. And if you think, by the way, that's a little too geeky for you, then I would say buy something like Prada Man or Amber, where the sprayer, the atomizer is off to the side, and when you get out of a shower and you're sitting there and your hand is slipping off it and you're trying to spray, you will notice then how important ergonomics are. So outstanding, both of them, both with the signature blue jewel on top. Both of them have Boucheron here embossed on the bottle. Now you might notice, no. Actually, I'm going to stick with similarities. So they are both done by one of the best parfumers around, and that, of course, is Annick Monardo. They're both from the 90s. They both have an umlaut on them, right? The 2 dots above the I. I'm just trying to figure out anything else I can talk about that's similar. They've both been listed as cinnamon-based fragrances. They're always on the top 10 cinnamon-based fragrance lists, it seems. Okay, so let's dive in on the differences, shall we? You probably noticed the first one, which is on the EDT, the glass is clear, and on the EDP, it's frosted glass, and then it's clear in the middle right here where you can see the juice, but then, of course, you can also see the information. Between the two, I like both. I love both. They're incredibly ergonomic, both of them, and the atomizers are spectacular on both, but I would say I do prefer the EDP as far as just in sheer terms of its looks over the EDT. Love them both, though. I love them both. And again, for those of you who like minimalism and in those bottles with typewriter-esque font, stickers that are just put on there, no thank you. I will take this bottle any day of the week. So the EDP gets the win there when it comes to the bottle. Now, when it comes to the notes, here I'm going to talk about some of the differences. I'll probably skip over a couple of the notes, but I just wanted to give you the bottom line is, in terms of smell, this one has a stronger baby powder smell to it, and I think that's going to be a fork in the road. These are pretty easy as far as opinions. You're going to see people on both sides, but it's pretty easy. Now, they're both outstanding. I would highly recommend both of them. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 sprays and this one a 5 out of 5 sprays. I really love both of them. I would just say the EDP it's a little bit more for the I'd say a little bit more of the 50 and up. It's not a grandpa or grandma smell. I'm just saying I feel like it's not as versatile because I feel like it will be for the older crowd. Don't look at me like that. Okay. And then the EDT I feel like is going to be friendlier to the younger crowd, and that's why I put that one at 25 and up, and I put this one at 35 and up. So if you like a baby powder smell mixed with a very strong lemon, and I mentioned in this episode it was like cleaning product, but in the best possible, like not even cleaning product, it's almost like if you took lemon after cleaning your kitchen and put lemon over the counters just for the smell and the effect. That's what it smells like. It's a very, very clean lemon mixed with baby powder, and then this one has that taken out of it, and it has instead cedar and tonka. So I feel like this is more for the ultra refined gentleman, and I think this is more for more of a man's man scent. I see this as a little bit more masculine, and that's just my take on it. As you know, I like them both. So the EDP is mostly lemon on the top in the initial blast. Then they both have cinnamon, and then the mid notes. This one has nutmeg, the EDP. Followed by vanilla and woodsy notes. And then the nutmeg and the vanilla seem to really mix and give it that baby powder feel to it. So they took that out. So this one instead of all the lemon in the initial blast has cardamom and it has citrus notes. And then they both have cinnamon, as I mentioned in the mid notes, but this one has carnation, rose, and jasmine instead of nutmeg, and then in the base notes it has tonka bean and cedar instead of vanilla and woodsy. So I guess if you I guess what I'm trying to say is if you really like vanilla, or if you don't like any aspect of carnation and rose, then EDP would probably be the one for you. And then if you like more of the citrus, lemon, lime, and bergamot, as opposed to just lemon, then you would probably prefer this one, especially with the cedar and the tonka in the base notes. So let me just say right off, at this point, let me just say right now, I gave this one a 4 and this one a 5, so you already know. I knew it. I know. No, I know. Well, you can boo me, but the bottom line is you appreciate the fact that I give my take on this one. I do prefer, in terms of smell, I like the baby powder taken out of it, and I really like this one more. I love both. I'm keeping both. I'm going to wear them a lot. They're outstanding fragrances. Come on. I mean, I am splitting hairs here, but I do like this one more in terms of the fragrance. I gave this one a 5 out of 5, and I do feel like it is more masculine and more approachable, and more versatile when it comes to that fragrance. That said, you should know two things. Number one is, as I said, so this one got 4.47 out of 5, which is outstanding on Fragrantica, as voted on by you guys. And this is 4.28. So that would suggest most people like, on Fragrantica, the EDP better. Also, subscriber Ramsey, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, subscriber Lutia, it's Lutia, and I asked her, I thought it was maybe Lucia, but I didn't want to say it incorrectly. And so Lutia and Ramsey both voted that they like the EDP. So I've already been outvoted by Fragrantica, and I've already been outvoted on this channel 2-1. But you know what? I got to go with EDT in terms of just liking the fragrance itself. In an ideal world, here's what would be the ideal situation. The ideal situation would be this juice would be in this bottle, followed by just a little bit more of Indian spices, and you'd be just about looking at the perfect fragrance. Another thing too it's similar but not for the right reasons. I actually got about the same amount of longevity on the EDT as I did the EDP, and I would have liked a little bit more there on the EDP. But again, as I said before, a lot of people have noted on this channel that stay away from, don't worry so much about longevity and projection, like if you can't smell it on your own skin, because you get used to it, right? There's olfactory fatigue. You get used to the actual fragrance, and then on top of it, it just might be mixing extremely well with your body's chemistry, and I think that's what's going on here. So I do get 6 to 8 for both of them. I cannot say I got more out of this than I did this one, or that it projected more. I feel like they were both exactly the same, actually, in terms of longevity, projection, and sillage. For seasons, I guess I would go fall, winter, and I would say this one is probably a tad more versatile, this being the EDT, of course, just a tad more versatile, and I would wear it more throughout the year. And I put this one in a higher percentage of masculine for the EDT. This was an 80-20 split, meaning 80% for the guys. I do think this one is slightly more unisex. I think I said 65-35 on that split, which was 65% men, 35% women who actually own this fragrance. I do feel like this one's just a little bit more, even though masculine, even though this one is the one that has carnation and rose. A lot of guys cringe at that. I don't at all. I actually love those notes. Now, they're both considered quote-unquote cinnamon-dominant fragrances, and I will say again, I just don't know that I see that, and I think it's because I've been spoiled with Costume National for too long, because it certainly has a lot of cinnamon in it. It doesn't jump out as a cinnamon bomb for me. It's just a wonderful aroma bomb, but it certainly has cinnamon in it. But be careful there, because for the cinnamon lovers, I was a little bit surprised by that. So I think that's going to be the review. This is the EDT. This is the EDP. I really enjoyed both of these fragrances. No chance on getting rid of these guys. I mean, I've worn 6 days each one, and you can see here, look, I've actually put quite a dent in both of them when you're considering that they were both filled to the brim. So there you have it. That's the episode. That's the comparison between the two. Have I missed anything? Do you guys have any questions for me regarding the difference between the two? Which one do you prefer? I think, much when you're a Bears fan, you're used to losing anyway, but I feel like I'm probably going to lose out when it comes to the EDT. That's my vote, though. And I'm also going to shut this episode down because the sun is peeking through, and that's getting kind of weird. I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this episode. This is a comparison of both of these. They will be staying in my collection. And Merry Christmas to you and yours. I hope it's wonderful. Thanks for another great year. I will have an episode next week. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. So I know I'm filming this a little bit early, just simply because otherwise I'd be letting the rabbit out of the hat, and we don't want that. So he's already had this package sent to him, and I hope he receives it before this episode comes out. And I have 3 things for him that I've included in his package as a Christmas gift to him. So first and foremost, he said in his email, by the way, that he doesn't do decants. He's going to change his mind on this one because I did a first impressions on Cédra Boisé by Mancera. I did a first impressions, and I think it was either 2018, might have been 19, and I said 4 out of 5 so far. And this is another one that I don't think I got any compliments on, but it is, I don't care. It is an outstanding fragrance. I love this fragrance. It almost has kind of almost like a bubble gum mixed with cedar. There's a lot going on in this fragrance. And I love it. I know he's not a big fan of decants, but I wanted to include that one as well. I've already reviewed it, but I wanted to throw this in just in case he doesn't have any niche, and it'd be a chance for him to try something different. The second thing is, I have to tell you, when I went to San Francisco and got my quote-unquote, I got a TCG haul, which is like 2 bottles as opposed to you guys that get like 15 in your hauls. Is that a haul even? At 2? Like, at what point is it not a haul? Okay? But there was something told me to get this one. Because I've had this one before, and you guys know I reviewed it. I love this one. In fact, one of the things I docked him a spray was because the bottle, the cap was a little cheap, and so was the label. And I have to say, this is a new bottle. And by the way, the atomizer also was a little cheap, I felt. They have improved that in the new bottle. It looks much nicer. And the cap, it's not flimsy at all. And this is White Musk Sport by The Body Shop. Whenever I go somewhere and see a body shop, I go in and I get stuff. I've had too many bottles of this one, but I do really enjoy this fragrance. And I knew I picked this one up for a reason, because I was thinking to myself, I don't need a backup. I've got plenty, but I just really like this fragrance a lot. It's another cheapie. It doesn't last a super long time, but it is perfect for the summer. It is light, and it is just a well done fragrance, and I wanted to throw that in as well. So a brand new bottle, and it does not come with a box, by the way, because I bought it actually at the store itself, so it doesn't come with a box. But I wanted to include that for Brian. And then the last thing is, part of the part of the VIP experience we have here at TCG is what other than, of course, a TCG t-shirt. Come on. Yeah, I knew you'd like it. And this one does look a tad big. So, Brian, you know what? If you have to use it to, dust your house, or if you have to wax your car, I don't know. If you have to use it for something else, either way, it's wonderful packaging. How's that? But I wanted to include that for you, these 3 things, and I really appreciate everything. Merry Christmas to you and to everybody, and to all, a good night.